I decided to play the midnight game to decide whether I lived or died. Most of y'all have heard of the midnight game, but for those who don't know, the midnight game is an old pagan ritual for those who disobey their religion where through meeting specific requirements, you will summon a demon called the Midnight Man who will hunt you until 3:33 a.m. The requirements are as follows: a paper and pencils, candles, a wooden front door, salt, a pin needle, and the lights in your house must be off. Everyone who is playing must write their names on a piece of paper. Then you must prick your finger and drop off blood onto the paper that has your name on it and must place it in front of a wooden door, or it will not work. Then light a candle and knock 22 times, and the last knock has to land at 12 a.m. specifically. Then open the door and blow out your candle, then close the door and relight your candle. Now you have summoned the Midnight Man. Now you must move from room to avoid him until 3:33 a.m. If your candle goes out, he is near you and you must relight your candle in 10 seconds. If you fail to quickly surround yourself in a circle of salt and wait until 3:33 a.m. and don't move out of the circle no matter what. This is where I need to add context for most of my life. It was full of hardship and uncertainty. I didn't like existing at all. It's been taxing on my mind, and ever since losing close family members, they've been lost. I was afraid of death yet also wanted it. I couldn't just do it myself, so I decided that I would play the midnight game to determine if I would continue alive or die, to see if someone was looking out for me in this hell I called a life. Was this stupid? Probably. Did I care? Not really, I just wanted an answer. So now we get into my experience with the game. I decided to play when everyone was out of my family home, a big house, and it was just me. I'm 19 BTW. I waited for the correct time and did the instructions for the game exactly. When I got to closing the door and relighting the candle, I felt like I was closing my own casket. For a while, I moved around the house. I first stayed in the living room, looking at the pictures of my dead relatives. Nothing happened at first, but at 12:30 I heard faint creeping coming from wooden stars in the other room. I was pale white in my face. Knowing for a fact that I was alone in my family home, I felt like this has to be the Midnight Man. I knew what I was doing but didn't expect much to happen, but there was no going back. As expected, I decided to move another room to stay clear of him and possible dangers. I decided to go to the laundry room, and while heading there my candle went out. I gasped for a moment but quickly took a lighter out and relight my candle. I felt my heart beating fast. I knew that meant he was near, so I decided to move the kitchen instead, which was 2 rooms away from the laundry room. When I got there, I started to think to myself that this has to be a joke, like I was just hallucinating. But as I'm trying to collect my thoughts and feelings, I feel a cold breeze come across me. I felt as though I was being watched, and I decided to look near the door hallway, and I saw a black figure that looked like a man with a big-ass grin. I was horrified. I felt as though I couldn't move. But if I didn't, then I knew it wouldn't end well, so I moved slowly yet swiftly to another room, trying to keep the candle from going out. I decided to head to my family's bathroom next. There I was both scared and confused. I was unsure if I saw was hallucinating or not. I knew I wanted to die, but not by my own hands, but I didn't expect this to somehow work. I decided to check my watch and see the time. It was 1:34 a.m. I had 1 hour 99 minutes before this entity would leave. I stayed in the bathroom for about 20 minutes before I felt unsafe there. I decided to go to the family room again and go to my room after, but as I was going there I heard a loud breaking sound of glass. I jumped and accidentally dropped my candle and it went out. I was left and almost put black, but made haste. I searched on the ground for the candle and immediately pulled my lighter to relight it while counting to 10. When I got 9, my candle was finally relighted and breathed a sigh of relief. I didn't care to check what broke as I knew the Midnight Man was there, so I decided to go to my parents' room instead. When I got there I decided to sit down on the bed while still holding the candle. I was sweating beads of sweat on my face, back, chest, and armpits like I was in a desert. I was totally under the belief that this shit was real. I knew in my mind that this wasn't a good idea and yet I chose to do this. I said I wanted to die but was also afraid to die, so why was I still alive? Why didn't I let the Midnight Man take me and let him eat my insides? As I'm thinking about this I look at my parents' side table and I see a family photo. It was a picture of all my family members, including the ones that were dead. As I looked at it I began to tear up in my face. I knew I missed them so much and I didn't want to continue living, but I knew that they didn't want this for. They wanted me to live my way to the damn fullest even if they weren't with me. With that conviction I decided that I would survive this game I stupidly decided to do because I didn't feel like living. As I'm standing up with the candle in my hand, I feel the cold breeze once again. Knowing this meant he was near, I decided to move to the kitchen again. As I got there I looked at my watch again to see the time. It was 2:43 a.m. I was relieved. Now I had a few more minutes before this game was over. I stayed in the kitchen for a few minutes when suddenly my candle went once again. I grabbed my lighter again and tried to relight, but my hands were sweaty and dropped my damn light and it landed far away from me in the corner and I didn't have time to get in 10 seconds, but thankfully I was in the kitchen, where the salt was. Without a moment's notice, I grabbed salt in my cabinet and surrounded myself in a circle of salt, knowing this was my only hope left. With my circle of salt around me I waited and waited. While there I was trying to reconfigure my thoughts and feelings, knowing that I had to keep my composure until the time ended. As I'm trying to get my heartbeat under control I hear another smash sound in my living again. I got scared again, but I kept myself in the circle of salt knowing I was safe here. After a while though, nothing else really happened. The whole house was just quiet. I was confused at first, but then my watch started beeping loudly. I looked at the watch whose red light was flashing in my face, and it read 3:30 a.m. I had somehow survived the midnight game. With a sigh of relief I decided to just go to my room and barricade my door just in case and check what broke in the living room in the morning. When morning came I heard knocking at my door. I got up and removed the stuff I used to barricade and opened the door. There was my dad and mom who were both crying and hugging me. I was surprised to see them this early. They told me that they decided to cut their vacation to a hotel short to check on me and thought I got robbed. When I asked why, they said that when they walked in they saw that a picture frame and window was broken in the family room. I was shocked to hear this, but at the same time I knew it wasn't a burglar. I decided to play along with this so as not to worry about them. And with that concludes my experience. My fate was decided. I would continue to live for another day. I would continue to live for myself and my dead family members.